Debt Lesson 1. Good debt versus bad debt. Not all debt is created equal. Good debt goes up in value and increases your future worth, while bad debt does the opposite by becoming less valuable over time. There are some people who think no debt is good debt, and they're not entirely wrong. However, there are things that are worth going into debt for. In the long run, the goal is to be better off financially. Sometimes it's hard to see the long-term picture when all you can think about is the risks involved with going into debt. You've probably heard the saying that it takes money to make money, which is true, and that's where good debt comes in. Most people can't afford to pay for something really expensive all at once, so they go into debt in order to get what they need. Rich people do the same thing. They leverage debt to make even more money without spending the money that they have. Let's look at ways that some debt can be used to make more money. When it comes to education, you're making an investment in yourself and your future earning potential. It could be formal education through a college, a trade school, a technical school, or by purchasing online courses to learn specific skills needed for whatever it is you want to do. If you're going to go into debt to pay for education, the knowledge or skills you're acquiring need to be valuable and help you get closer to your end goal. Otherwise, it's not a good investment of your time or money. Borrowing money to start a business can be considered good debt. Most small businesses borrow money for startup costs. However, not all businesses require a large amount of funding to get started. It all depends on what type of business you want to have. Being your own boss can be really rewarding, both financially and psychologically. Just like paying for an education, starting your own business comes with its own risks. You have the potential to make a lot of money, but there's also the potential to lose a lot of money if you aren't good at business. It's estimated that between 80 to 90% of the world's millionaires became millionaires by investing in real estate. More money has been made in real estate than any other type of investing. Getting into the housing market could be a great way to make a lot of money, but you can lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. Beyond the ability to make money, there's also a lot of financial freedom and satisfaction that comes with owning your own home. In many cases, a house payment can actually be cheaper than paying for rent each month. Bad debt, also known as consumer debt, is when you borrow money to buy something that loses value, also known as depreciating assets. If you are purchasing something and it doesn't go up in value or it doesn't make you money, then you shouldn't go into debt to buy it. Sure, you probably need a car to get to school, work, or wherever you need to go, but that doesn't mean that you need to borrow money to buy a car. Sadly, your car will start losing value as soon as you drive it off the lot. In the first year, on average, cars depreciate 20 to 30%. After 3 years, cars lose up to 60% of their value. Some vehicles hold their value better than others, but generally speaking, car loans are bad debts because they don't make you money and the value of the vehicle decreases. Credit cards can be good if used responsibly. You have to have a plan on how you intend to use your credit card. However, if you use your credit card to buy clothes, coffee, food, or whatever else that you might put on it that you might not be able to afford at that time, your debt can quickly spiral out of control. Credit cards shouldn't be used for anything that you can't pay off at the end of the month. And they shouldn't be used for emergencies, paying for your education, vacations, or anything else that you can't afford. The interest rates are just too high to justify. Credit cards don't go up in value, and they don't help make you money. Sure, there are some credit cards that offer rewards, but the average American pays over $1,000 a year just in credit card interest and fees, which makes it hard to justify being worth it for most people. This is one of the most toxic types of debt that you can get into. Payday loans have an extremely high interest rate and fees, and they take advantage of those who are already struggling financially. They come with huge costs that lead to a vicious cycle, making them really hard to repay. Not all degrees are of equal value. Some degrees can help you earn a good salary and paying back that money that was borrowed easy. But for a large number of college graduates, repaying student loans is a big financial struggle. If you get an education in an area that doesn't lead to a good paying career, that investment that you made in yourself both financially and with the years of your life doesn't always pay off. That's probably why in a recent survey of millennials, over 50% had said that they didn't think that their student loans were worth taking out in exchange for a higher education. The main takeaway? The wrong education costs you money each month instead of helping you make money each month. If you repeatedly make bad financial choices that result in debt that you can't pay back, it will destroy your credit and overwhelm you with monthly payments that you can't sustain. Once people reach this level of debt where they can no longer keep their head above water and are drowning in debt, the last resort is filing for bankruptcy. Hopefully you never need to use this option, but if you do, just know that bankruptcy is a legal process that gives you a second chance by forgiving your debts that you can't repay. There are many types of bankruptcy that a business and individuals can file for, but Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the most common that people use. Chapter 7 bankruptcy allows them to get rid of their unsecured debts like credit card balances and medical bills. It costs money to file bankruptcy, and sometimes you have to sell off your valuable assets to repay the companies that you owe money to. If you don't owe anything of value, then you might fall into a category where you don't have to repay any of your previous debt. The discharge order is the official part of a bankruptcy that makes your previous debts that were included in your bankruptcy go away. Once you have this, your second chance begins. But don't get too excited. There are some downsides to this as well. Typically, when somebody files for bankruptcy, their credit is already pretty poor due to missed payments. Filing for bankruptcy completely destroys your credit and stays in your credit report for up to 10 years. With credit scores that low, getting any kind of loan is going to be next to impossible. Having bad credit will make everything harder. Even qualifying for an apartment will be difficult because they do credit checks. So yes, you do get a second chance with bankruptcy, but it's definitely not an easy path or one that should be considered unless all other options have failed. You just learned why not all debt is created equal. Good debt goes up in value and bad debt becomes less valuable over time. And if you dig yourself into a deep hole of debt that you can't climb out of, bankruptcy is the last resort option at a second chance. In the next lesson, we're going to go more into depth on the different types of debt that Americans struggle with the most.